Hey, what's going on, Secoya Nation? Dr. Shirley bringing today's wellness wisdom, and today we're talking about celiac. If you don't know what celiac is, it's basically an intolerance to gluten and things like that, and it can be very problematic for a lot of people's digestion, so we want to bring this information to you. Of course, this is not to replace your medical guidance from your practitioner, your clinician. This is information to help enhance your understanding of yourself and understand the difference between you and how these stresses might affect you. So take this information in. We have a lot of participants that come to us with either silent celiac or diagnosed celiac and things like that, and they don't know what to do. They feel like their life is over because they can't eat wheat, but there are plenty of people with this challenge and this condition. So just want to bring some information to your awareness so that you can then either inspire them or you can be inspired yourself to understand what's going on in your life and things of that nature. So when you think about someone who has celiac, it's like inside the gut wall, there's these villi, right, microvilli, and they with celiac they tend to get broken down. So instead of like healthy ones looking like this, they're like it's like shag carpets, they're matted down, and so that really limits the assimilation of information as far as the nutrients and the vitamins going into the body. As a result, they get less nutrients from their food, and it can be very challenging to their health and really taxing. So the concept of celiac from this standpoint of the digestion is it's like I already have too much and I can't store anymore. So that's like a brain body connection as far as the celiac goes. When you think about women who are pregnant, there's an aspect of this from Hoffman, I believe, is the author that had this concept, basically saying that the husband is too greedy and that he doesn't think about her enough or as much as she'd like him to, and that could be a trigger. Remember, these are triggers. Understanding it's the emotional stress that then creates the brain-body disconnect, and then the symptoms follow. So a pregnant woman who asks her husband for what she needs but feels like he's too greedy to actually help her with that. So another one was related to the parental, like the parent-child standpoint, and it's like the concept is it's not easy to be the son or daughter of this person, right? That's the concept between the parent, but there's also a thread related to the mother, and it's a conflict between the father and the son, and the mother has an influence on the son, and the mother thinks the father's no good. So the mother's like saying things to the child, and the child says, well, my mom tells me my dad's no good, and that can be a conflict. And remember, hard to digest, right? Hard to ingest this idea, hard to digest the concept. As a result, then it becomes a tax on the gut microbiome. So in terms of retrieval of, like when you think about a vital concept, a vital piece of information, how to digest that, it comes into like something that's very hard to digest or very hard to process from a concept in life that can then turn into an indigestible morsel conflict, which then affects the digestive system. And of course, celiac is known for assimilation for wheat. According to Dr. Turner, it's like out of balance, needing balance, or can't hold things together. So wheat, from a QNRT standpoint, is like out of balance, needing balance, or not able to hold things together. So take these things into consideration because they're really powerful as far as understanding like, well, I was fine up until this point, and if you can do your timeline and say, I was feeling good until this, or that happened, or this stress happened, and things like that, then you can be more empowered to say, aha, well now, if I address that, maybe I can reverse the symptom, right? That's really important to understand. Like maybe you can reverse the symptom. There's a part of this about procreation. It's about the father planting the seed, right? The seed of the wheat, if you will. So the father who plants the seed but then discriminates against the child, like they treat their child like there's an old phrase like in the old days, like the bastard child, like the child out of wedlock, in other words. So it's like the phrase was, in which bed did you plant your seed? It's one of the things. So if there's a conflict there, that can be relevant to helping you understand that there are different threads of this. It could be, environment. It could be information. It could be the parental conflict. It could be all that kind of stuff. So there was a very strange one. What was it? The author was Jordal Scavi. I forget how to pronounce his or her name. Memories of poor taste in your mouth. Like there was literally some reference to semen in the mouth and the poor taste, and it had everything to do with the genealogy and like the traumas being passed down from generation to generation. It's really wild when you start digging into this stuff. But just understand, like it's indigestible. It's not processable, and you know. So if you're looking for a root cause of celiac, rather than looking at wheat as the problem, because we've been farming for over 10,000 years, and yes, they're hybridizing the wheat and they're modifying it. It's you know, they're genetically modifying it to be able to be more Roundup ready and stuff like that with glyphosate and stuff like that. But this stuff is not new, so usually it's 3 or 4 generations for a trauma that happens in a genealogy to take form. So if you have a situation where you have a great-grandparent, and then a grandparent, and then a father, and then a child, or great-grandmother, great-grandmother, mother, and a child, it's usually like 3 to 4 generations before it takes full effect. There's a great study about Pottinger's cats. So if you look up Pottinger cats, Pottinger would inflict genetic change and watch how many generations it took for it to manifest in that genealogy. And so it was typically 3 to 4 generations. I think his study was 3. So if you like this kind of stuff, if you're feeling inspired by understanding the brain-body connection, if you feel like, hey, this can help people, that's why we do this every week. Because when you understand what's going on with your condition and what's going on in your life, and you can make the connection between my stress and then my symptom, then you're not controlled by the symptom anymore. So that's our whole goal. It's our whole mission. And so we appreciate the opportunity to bring this to you. If you have a concept that you want to talk about, please mention it. Send us an email. Secoya Health, you just contact us. We'll do a video on it because we want you to feel empowered to understand your body. So appreciate you, love you. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the Wellness Wisdom. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. I'm running solo today, so I'm shutting this thing off myself. Take care.